going over some basic resources that are available for you if you've been recently transitioning to Canvas. I'm joined with Sabrina Dean. She's our lead instructional designer. And we're here to answer any questions. I have a few slides to go through, maybe about 20 minutes or so, and then we can make it a little bit more informal from there and answer any questions that you have. All right. You've probably seen this slide a few times, the general housekeeping slide. As I'm talking, you can type your questions into chat, and either Sabrina or I will answer those as they come in. There's not many of us here, so we can keep it pretty informal. So don't hesitate to interrupt if I'm going too fast or you have a question. All right, but we will have time at the end for a live question and answer. And then, of course, an evaluation at the end to sort of record your presence in this workshop. Okay, these are the learning outcomes for the workshop. Fairly simple. I'm going to show you just kind of basic navigating to the Canvas Commons and the global navigation bar, looking at MyMedia resources in your Kaltura media. I'm looking at the Zoom integration, which is a great resource for Canvas. And then we're going to look at the Canvas training portal. I'll introduce to you some of the Canvas self-paced trainings, and then also kind of navigate through the ATS webpage for all the other resources that we have available for you. Okay. So with that being said, I'm just going to jump right into a live demonstration. So give me a second to pop up my script here and get us into the course. Okay. So to start off, I'm going to start off with showing you the Canvas Commons, which is a great repository of shared resources that you can use in Canvas. But for those that occasionally, there are still folks who have not gone into Canvas. So I want to start from scratch here and show you how to get there from your SSO login. So this is my SSO CSULB login page. Here's the chiclet for accessing Canvas and Beachboard. It might look a little bit different than you're used to from last fall or last spring, because it opens up a separate page now, and you go to Canvas or Beachboard from this page. So if I click on Canvas, it takes me directly to my Canvas account. If I've gone through SSO, I don't have to do a separate login to Canvas, and I'm already on my dashboard. So your dashboard looks a little bit like this. You can also access your courses this way. You can see I have a whole list of courses here. Yours won't be this long, but there's different ways. But that dashboard is sort of your easy kind of way to see some of your most recent courses. All right, I'm going to start right here from the dashboard and show you the Canvas Commons after I've gone. So I've gone through a couple of these. This is what we call our global navigation menu. Okay, and here's where you access your courses. You can access the calendar. There's also the inbox where you can email your students. And this is where you access MyMedia, and I'm going to show you that in a second. And then I'm going to go right into the Commons. And welcome for all the latecomers. Welcome. I'm just getting started. Okay, so I've logged into Canvas through the SSO, and I'm now on my Canvas dashboard. Right. So I'm going to go directly to the Commons. So this is your Commons link, and if I click on that, this is where it'll pop up a page that's populated with a lot of different resources that you're free to borrow and use. Those who publish on this page are offering it for you to use at will. And also, we've created a few resources on here. Now, first, I wanted to show you, so there's lots of different resources that are shared by the Canvas community here. You can filter these by those that are just at CSU Long Beach if you want. I have the entire Canvas community. So this is anyone who has chosen to share their pages or their modules or their courses in the Commons. It defaults to undergraduate and graduate. I can, again, click this and it will filter down a little bit. I'm going to keep it at all because I wanted to show you some of the different types of resources that are in here. So there are entire courses that you can copy. There are pages. There are modules that you can pull in. And ultimately, we are actually going to populate this with some of our page layouts that you can borrow for a home page, for instance. If you want to have a templated home page, we're going to start populating the commons with those so that you can use. Currently, we have what are called layouts. These were called templates in Beachboard. And if you recall, if you wanted to build, your course in Beachboard, you could grab a pre-populated template that we had created. We have moved those into Canvas as well. In Canvas, they're called layouts. And these are different layout templates that we have populated with content, generic content that you can start building your course from if you need that, right? I'm going to go ahead and click directly into one of these just to show you what it looks like. So if I click into one of these Commons resources, you get a preview of all the different pages that are available. Okay, and you can click on those to see what they look like. And as you can see, we have a basic structure that we've built for you to then you can fill in and populate. So you're not starting from a completely blank course if you're building from scratch. You can then click import, and then you'll be able to choose the course that you import those to. And it'll take all that content and dump it into your shell, whichever you choose. You can also pull from a course, and I'll show you that in a second, or I'll show you that right now. So I'm going to open up another page here for my dashboard. I'm going to go into a course. And if I click import from Commons from a course itself, I click that and it takes me to that same Commons page, right? So I can push from the Commons or I can pull from a particular course and populate it with these different shared layouts. All right, any questions about that so far? This is a resource that really wasn't available in Beachboard, so it's kind of a nifty thing.
This is Courtney. Yeah. I have a quick question.
Yeah,
so that looks fantastic. Is it easy to delete pieces if like you don't have a quiz every week or you don't have a discussion every week?
Yeah, so when you do an import, it doesn't seem to allow you to be able to drill down and only import certain parts of a layout. So you would just pull those in and then delete them from the course itself. It's easier just to go in and delete those modules that you don't want.
Okay, thanks.
But yeah, there occasionally there will be content you pull in you don't need, and you just delete that.
Thank you.
Sure, great question. Any other questions before I move on? Okay, so that's our Canvas Commons. The next I want to look at is the MyMedia for your course, and this is the Kaltura MyMedia integration, and it's very similar to Beachboard. In fact, Kaltura is our external video resource that we have integrated into both Beachboard and Canvas. So it's actually the same account. Any videos that you made in Beachboard previously, you'll have available here as well. Okay, so we've integrated it, and it's actually a slightly closer integration. I'll show you a little bit. The names are similar. So if you recall, I'm going to go directly into one of my courses here to show you. Once again. So the names are similar. So you access all the media that you've made for all your courses through MyMedia versus the media gallery within a course. So this is the course navigation menu. The media gallery within the course is all the media that you've made for that particular course or that you've imported into that course. All right, so it's similar to how it worked in Beachboard. In Beachboard, you have a drop-down menu that said course gallery or MyMedia. Very same thing. These are pretty much the exact same things. So I want to show you how this works really quickly. I want to go to MyMedia. So if I click on MyMedia, you see all of the, as soon as it loads, being a little slow this morning, you'll see all videos that I've made previously for other courses through Kaltura, including my Zoom recordings. So you may have seen an announcement at the beginning of the week that we're not storing videos on Zoom anymore, that they will now be stored into your MyMedia account in Kaltura. So this is where you find all your previous Zoom recordings if you have recorded any of your lectures in here. All right, so this is the MyMedia link, and then I want to go open up another tab for my course. I want to be able to open up that. I want this. There we go. And I want to show you and compare a little bit. So this is the MyMedia page. This is within my course, and I'm going to go to the media gallery for the course itself. So as you can see in my sandbox, I have one video. So it loads. Okay, so I have a video that I've published into the course. And this is the MyMedia right here. So I can actually push videos from MyMedia into a course just by hitting publish. And this is, as you can see, this is the actual video that I've published in the course itself. I can see that by hitting publish, and it shows that it's published in Sandbox. If I click on the video itself, I can publish it to other locations by simply hitting publish. And in a second, I'll see all the different courses that that I have on my dashboard. These are all my courses, and I can pick a course to publish this video to. So as you can see, this works a little bit better than it did in Beachboard. In Beachboard, you had to go grab a link for the video and then post that link in your course. Here, you can actually publish directly into the course. If I'm within the course, I can pull media from MyMedia by simply going to add media. And as you can see, it goes directly to MyMedia and it has all my videos, okay, including, again, all my Zoom lecture recordings that I've made previously. I'll be able to go into the course and pull them directly from there. That's a little bit more convenient than it used to be, where we had to grab links and so on and paste those into the course. Okay. So does that make sense? Is that any questions about that and using MyMedia as a resource for publishing media into your courses? Any questions about that? Anything confusing? Okay, okay, good, perfect. All right, then I'm going to keep going then. Next, I want to look at Zoom. So Zoom is again, a resource that a lot of you use. Zoom is also a closer integration in Canvas than it was in Beachboard. All right, so in addition, so you're used to using Zoom by going through your SSO, clicking on your Zoom link, and this takes you automatically to your online Zoom account, right? So if I want to set up a meeting, I would typically go to meetings and schedule them this way. Now with the Canvas integration, I can actually do this directly in my course. And so if I'm in the course, I'll go directly to this Zoom meetings link. Click on that. And if you notice, it actually opens up my meetings page in my Zoom account directly in the course itself. So it looks just like this. I can schedule my meetings from within the course, right? And they'll pop up here, and then students can go to this link and click on that link and open up the meeting. Okay, so I can, again, schedule meetings directly into this course, and they'll always be there. I don't have to go grab a link and then paste it in the course for students to click on, and it takes them externally to Zoom. They can do it directly within the course, which is a little bit more convenient than it was in Beachboard. Now, you won't see previously scheduled meetings in this course yet. If you want to pull those meetings in, so if you have a recurring office hours or recurring lecture meeting that you've done before you've used Canvas, those will be in here, right, in your online media account. But you pull those into a particular course by simply going to these dots on the far right, and I click import meeting. And then all I need is, I don't have any scheduled meetings on my list, but when you have your meeting scheduled, you have previous and upcoming, you'll see lists of meetings, and then you'll see a meeting ID. All you do is grab that meeting ID, put it in here, click import, and then those meetings will show up directly within the course, and students can start those directly within the course. So as you can see, it's a little bit of a closer integration than it was in Beachboard. Okay. Are there any questions about that? Fairly simple. Fairly simple, makes it a little bit more easier. Again, you can schedule meetings directly within a course, and they'll always be in there. All right, next and this is kind of a couple more things. I'm almost done here. Next, I'm going to go to the Canvas training portal and show you some of the resources here. So this is all the resources in the help button here, and this is a global, so I can access this from dashboard or from within a course. So I could click help, and if you click on help, you'll notice that this list of different resources. I'm not going to go through all these, we don't have time, but check some of these out. These are all resources available for you. You can contact Canvas directly. You can enter the community forum Q&A. That's a great way of getting questions answered if you can't reach us. But this link I want to point to here, you got to scroll down a little bit for it. It's called the Training Services Portal. This takes you to Canvas itself, the resources that are available on the Canvas side at Canvas. I'm going to go ahead and initiate this because it takes a few minutes to load. So you have to wait for it a little bit. But the Canvas training portal will be available through the end of January 2023. It's a resource that Canvas is offering us for signing up for Canvas. It won't be there forever, but we encourage faculty to use this as much as you can before, say, spring of 2023, because this will have all kinds of lesson materials and webinars and live training webinars that you can sign up for free and get yourself trained on Canvas. All right, so if you notice, it opens up directly into a learning library that has all these different, it looks very similar to Canvas and has all these different course icons. I can filter this with tags, so I like to go in here and filter for higher education, because there's lots of stuff in here for K through 12 as well. So I have that tag set. I can click into any of these and check them out and even sign up for them. If I go to My Learning, so you have these 3 tabs here. These are trainings that I've already completed on the Canvas side, all right, in terms of my own training, and you'll see these for yours. And then I can also go to a training calendar, and you'll see that I can click on any of these and actually register for a live training, right? And these will be conducted live by instructional designers or experts on the Canvas side to get you all the training you need for Canvas. So again, this is a really valuable resource, and please take advantage of it as much as you can before January. Yeah, Sabrina, what did I miss?
Yeah, real quick, could you show everyone again how to get to the training portal?
Sure. So I start with help. So I'm on my dashboard. I'm in Canvas, and I'm at my dashboard, or I'm within a course. So if I click the help link, I pop up all these resources, and then you have to scroll down a little bit to the Training Services Portal. I click that. It opens up on a separate tab, and you'll go directly to the learning library. So again, you're going outside of Canvas at this point. It'll open up a new tab, and you're going directly to the Canvas website to access these trainings. Okay, so Training Services Portal, help.
Did that help, Elizabeth?
Yeah. Any
Yes,
other questions?
Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Any other questions about that?
But that's so it will end January, end of January 2020.
Yeah, I believe that we have that service available through the end of January. That may change, but currently that's where we have that. It's basic. It's like a little extra that Canvas offers us for signing up as new clients, so to speak. Okay, so but even if when that goes away, we have all kinds of trainings and materials that we've also created through ATS. So that's what I'm going to show you next. Right, I'm going to go to our own website that we've created for faculty support on Canvas. So if you go, this is our Canvas at the Beach. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this link. So if you want to go check this out yourself, I'll put it in the chat. Oh, it looks like somebody already did that. So, go, thank you. And so anyways, I wanted to point out some of these faculty workshops. And so this is all the stuff that we've created for you. So this will always be available for you, and we're constantly adding on to these. And of course, you're attending this webinar now. This is part of our whole webinar series on Canvas. and you can sign up for them here. All right. And also growing, I wanted to point out, I'm going to show you this in a second. Growing with Canvas is actually a self-paced course that you can have on your dashboard and access anytime you want asynchronously and do any kind of training you want. You'll always have access to this. We brought this over and we have this for your use at any time. For students, there's a very similar resource, and let's see, student, there we go. And that's called Passport to Canvas. And I'm going to go ahead and show you both of those. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So once you register for these, you'll get put on the class list for these, and then they'll pop up on your dashboard. And they look like this: Growing with Canvas or Passport to Canvas. And let me show you that really quickly. Again, it's purely self-paced. There's no, grading that or anything you need to submit for grading or anything. You can go through this all at your own pace. I'll go straight to the module page, and you can see that the modules are arranged in order of how you might set up a course. So it's from getting started all the way to building your course and grading and messaging students and so on. All that stuff is in here. Creating quizzes. You can access all this and get yourself trained on Canvas at your own pace. All right, and that's freely available to you at any time. Again, you sign up for those at our website. You click on one of these, it'll pop up a survey link that you can then just request access to the course, and then it'll pop up on your dashboard. So again, that's another very valuable resource that a lot of faculty have been using and finding fruitful. That's how we trained. All of our instructional designers went through the Growing with Canvas course and also did some Canvas training on the Canvas side. So we're familiar with that stuff, okay? And then let's see, one last thing I wanted to show you is also on this website, what you can access are resources for checking out any courses that you had migrated from Beachboard. And I wanted to show you that really quick. There's this course types link that describes the different types of courses that you might see in Canvas. And one of those are migrated courses. You may have courses that you've taught before in Beachboard. Those have been migrated over. You'll see those in your course list, and they'll have a migrated from Beachboard kind of notation on those. And then we have this migration job aid that on how to use migrated courses. We have this job aid that you can go through and check your migrated course to make sure that everything is working right and all the links are working right and all the images came over and so on. Okay, so that's another resource that we like to point out to faculty who may already have existing courses in Canvas that have been pulled from Beachboard.
Hold on, may I ask a question, please?
Sure.
That sounds that I thought that the migration of our courses will be done by you guys once we request the semesters involved. Am I wrong?
No. So if you had a previous course for the last 2 years in Beachboard, those have been migrated. Okay, so you should see those in your unpublished list, or you can go to your course list and click all courses, and you will see those on there, and they will have a notation that says that they were migrated from Beachboard. Okay, so this is sort of what they'll look like.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, Chad, but my question has to do because I have requested more semesters to be older semesters to be migrated. Do I have to do that myself or just request it again? What should I do?
What is it, Sabrina? What is our process for requesting courses before spring of 2020?
Because 2 years will not do it for me.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so I believe that they're compiling a list of all of those requests, Elizabeth. What I can do is ask the LMS team just to make sure they do have your courses on hand, and I can follow up with you and make sure that's the case, because I don't believe we're expecting you to do that, from my understanding. But yeah, I can follow up on that for you, and you send in an email.
Sabrina, thank you so much. Can I send you an email to follow up?
Yeah, that would be great. Okay.
Your address is the regular CSULB EDU. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all I have. Are there any questions or any other issues you would like me to show you, or anything that we can go over again in Canvas?
This is Courtney. I have a couple of questions just to
Sure.
remind me of the timing.
Sure.
So spring 2023 is the last semester that Beachboard will be available, and then fall, everything must be in Canvas. Is that correct?
Yes, everything will be in Canvas, and Beachboard will go away in the fall.
Okay.
So that,
And
yeah.
then that training portal that looks so awesome, that ends like January 31 of 2023.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then, so I'm trying to use some of our downtime to kind of slowly migrate my resources from Beachboard to Canvas. When will the spring classes, spring 2023 classes as a shell be available in, well, I guess either Beachboard or Canvas?
Those are available, basically when they're created on the student information system side. So
Okay.
just like if they've always been, they'll be available somewhere around November.
Okay.
Right. So
Thanks.
you'll see your live 2023 spring courses pop up around November. That's typically how it usually works when they've created them on the enrollment side.
Thank you.
So that's basically the same as it's always been.
Okay.
We do have a question in the chat from Katie. Yeah. Could you show everyone how to use the email students function? Absolutely. And then she also wanted to know if there a Dropbox function similar to Beachboard?
A Dropbox you like for assignments?
Yeah, assignments.
Got it. Okay, so first, you can email all students you can do it directly from your dashboard, or you can do it from within a course, and you do that right from your inbox. So a little bit different than it was in Beachboard. It's a global menu item. So when you go to inbox, this is kind of a global email function. So you can choose which courses you want to email directly from here. All right, so you do that, you'll see like these are all my previous messages that I've seen. This might be blank for you when you first use it, but these are all previous messages that I've received and answered. If I go right here, compose a new message, this is where I can select which course. So this will pop up, I select a course and then I go here, it'll pop up my list of courses that I want to email. So I'm going to scroll down around. Might as well just use my sandbox. So there it is. So I can choose my sandbox. And now once I've chosen the course, I can choose everyone in the course, all students. Okay. Or I can pick individual students. There we go. So if I click on students, I can pick individual students, or I can create, an email for all students at the same time. And then I write my email and send, and then they get a notification in their CSULB email inbox that they have an email waiting for them, and they can click on it and see it here. So this is a fairly convenient function within Canvas that allows you to email all your students. It's purely secure. It's connected to all students' CSULB email accounts, so they'll have to go there to see any notifications, and it keeps it all secure within Canvas and within the university system. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah.
Overall, Chad, do you believe that Canvas is more user-friendly than Beachboard?
I do. I think it is. There are certain aspects that are a little bit different. I think the gradebook is easier to use. I think overall it's easier for students to navigate, and that seems to be the overwhelming feedback that we're getting from students. We've had a chance to speak with a lot of students about their experience in both systems now, that they're using both at the same time, and they do tend to prefer Canvas in terms of their navigation and also familiarity. A lot of students who are transferring from community colleges are already familiar with Canvas. Yeah. So I think, overall, I think it's a little bit easier to navigate around. Yeah, Sabrina.
Sorry, real quick before you move on to assignments, just in case anybody needs to go to other meetings, etc. I'm going to put in the chat our evaluation. It's optional to fill out any of the information, but if you click in it and at least submit it, it'll track your attendance for today in our database. But yeah, we would really, if you do want to fill it out, we would really love it if to get any feedback for today's session so we can continue improving our workshops for you. Thanks, Chad. I'll let you get back to the second question.
Yeah. Okay, so the second question was about a Dropbox. And if you recall in Beachboard, the Dropbox is where, say, all written assignments were submitted in Beachboard. We called it Dropbox, but often it's called assignments. In Canvas, there's no real separate Dropbox for students that go to separately. It's all done through the assignment itself. So if I go to assignments, this is equivalent to the Dropbox in Beachboard. This is where all your graded assignments will be. And if you notice, it's not just written assignments in Canvas. On the assignments page, it's all graded activities. So I have quizzes listed here, and I have exams and discussion boards all on the assignments page because they're all graded activities. And if they're discussions or quizzes, they're also cross-listed in their respective sections as well. There's lots of, this is one thing that I think makes Canvas a little easier for students to find things, is because there's a lot of cross-listing that goes on. So for instance, everything on the module page is also in their respective areas as well. So students can go here or they can go to the modules page, just depending. So again, this is the Canvas equivalent of the Dropbox. There's no separate area that students need to go to submit assignments. So if I go to the student view and I go to assignments and I click on it, students submit directly through this assignment link. And let's see if I have it here. Fortunately, I can't show you it. I said I had it only set for one submission, but when students click on this, they would see kind of a nice big yellow button here that says submit or upload, and that they would submit it directly into the assignment once they clicked on it. Okay, so that's essentially how Dropbox works in Canvas. There's nothing in Canvas called Dropbox necessarily, but that's how students submit things. Yeah.
Excuse me, please.
Sure.
How about ungraded? Sometimes we have ungraded assignments.
That you would access through your gradebook. So your gradebook shows any assignments that are ungraded. It'll notate those with an icon, and it'll look like this. So here's that same assignment that I clicked on. Here's a test student. Here's that submission that I showed you for the test student, and it's right here. And if I click on that, I can go directly to the speed grader and grade that submission.
No, I mean, excuse me, I meant assignments that will never be graded, like in a discussion.
Oh, ungraded assignments. Oh,
ungraded, yes.
Ungraded, so ungraded assignments won't automatically show up here. But you would go to the discussion area to grade those. So if I go to the discussion area again, and I can see these are my discussions that I've created, I can go and click on that, and then to see all student submissions. Where's the speed grader?
Nice photograph.
Oh, thank you. So this is where you would see, all your student submissions, and for some reason I can't get. Where's the speed grader for that? Anyway, you should be able to see the speed grader and then be able to go and read the discussion. So is that your question? You want to just be able to access your students' discussions?
I teach an undergraduate research seminar. That is incremental, meaning students have to submit incremental iterations of their paper. So some of these iterations that they have to post, I will not grade. I will look at. I will only grade the last iteration. So that's what I'm asking about. How are I will need to look at the various incremental progress of their paper, but I will not grade them. I
Yeah,
will
so
have my comments. And
yeah,
then the last one I will grade.
yeah, so because I think Chad, you already mentioned this, assignments have to, the way Canvas works, it automatically creates a grading item. But there are settings in the grade item itself. You can make it 0, but maybe show it as complete or incomplete. That way it's, you know, it doesn't have points associated with it on the student's end. And you can just mark it with a check mark that it's been reviewed, but it's not, you know, adding it into the total for your grading purposes.
Right. So I can show you really quickly how to do that. So if I go to discussions, and I can go into the settings for either of these, or I can just create a new discussion. I can title it and label it and everything. But if I go down here, I can just keep this as ungraded, or if I make it graded, I can just keep it at 0, and then not have it count toward the final grade. And then I'd be able to grade it through the speed grader and be able to see all of your student submissions that way, and be able to read them. Does that make sense? So another way to do it is just go directly to the discussion board. You can see all the submissions there. So if I go to discussions and I click into a discussion, nobody has submitted to these discussions yet, so you don't see anything here. But when I do click into here, below here, you would see all your student submissions that you could read. But if you wanted to do that through SpeedGrader, that gives you the ability to see, you know, a particular student and all their submissions, including all the replies to other students. And you would set it up as a non-graded assignment so that you can, you know, see that through the SpeedGrader.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions?
I just had a follow-up question about the
Sure.
Dropbox. Can we publish written feedback to students, or does it all need to go through like a setup rubric?
You can do either or both.
Okay.
So I'll show you. I'm going to go back to assignments. I'm going to click on that assignment. And I'm going to go to SpeedGrader. You can access SpeedGrader from the gradebook as well, but I can access it directly here from the assignment. So if I go to SpeedGrader, this is where you grade, you know, any kind of written work. And as you see, it'll pop up the submission right here. In a second, come on. Sometimes this can be a little slow. So you can see this is basically, you know, a sample written submission to an assignment. I can add comments directly here. So this is a Canvas comment box, and they'll see that when they click into their grades. Or I can pop the rubric open here, and the rubric's a little hard to see unless I like to position this bar here so that I can see the rubric. So I have a rubric attached here, and this is where I can add any comments for any of these items in the rubric. The rubric works automatically. It automatically adds points as I'm clicking, you know, these items. I can add feedback to any of that, and I can add global feedback, you know, outside the rubric as well. So you can do both, right? You don't have to have a rubric attached to an assignment, and then you wouldn't see this rubric button here, but you could still add feedback here that the students could see, you know, global feedback for each written assignment. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And it looks like we can also still draw on the submissions like we can in
Absolutely.
Dropbox.
Yeah, I can show you that.
Cool. I don't need to see it, but I'm glad
Okay.
I'm glad it's still there. Thank you.
Yeah. This is you know, yeah, it's built into SpeedGrader and allows you to do all the comments. And you can leave comments directly in the paper. You can do that here or in the.
Cool. Thank you.
Anything else that I can show you?
I had a follow-up question on that.
Sure. Yeah.
So when we post these comments, I mean, they do work like the way Word comments work, right? So our students can also see and access the feedback that we have given them. They don't need anything
Yes.
special? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So that
Okay.
in their gradebook, they can, you know, click into that assignment and see all this feedback that you left them and see the rubric as well.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And they can see the rubric before they submit. If you notice, if I go to this assignment, the rubric is sitting right down here. So the students can see exactly how they're going to be graded. I like that aspect of Canvas. When you add a rubric to an assignment, the students can see it. And there's the gradebook side. Here's how I would access. I can access SpeedGrader here. I can access it. I can click directly into. I can click directly into a student submission and access SpeedGrader that way. I can even add comments directly here in the gradebook. So here's another place I can add comments. I can adjust the score here or just directly access SpeedGrader. So this is one of the things I think that makes Canvas a little bit easier to navigate. Lots of things are cross-listed, whereas in Beachboard you'd often have to go backward, or go back through a global nav menu to access some of these things. Yeah. So, any other questions? Sabrina, should I show the media space, or think that might confuse things?
Well, we do have a media space workshop, so if anybody is interested, I definitely recommend signing up for that. There's a media space workshop coming up for faculty on September 20th. So next week, I'm putting the link to the events and workshops. So if you are interested in that, we highly recommend you attend. And there's a staff one, October 3rd. Actually, it looks like the September 20th one is advertised for both staff and faculty. So, so you'll get some great information there. And then be sure to check out any other workshops we have coming up. And otherwise, if you have any other questions, feel free to email us. I'll put our email in the chat for everyone. Yeah, if you have any other questions. Otherwise, have a great day.